Hey guys, this is Michael, aka SoundJack from Nerdy Geek Talk, the source for all your nerdy geeky needs, here with episode 82 of Steel City Bots. I'm pretty sure I'm right that it's episode 82. Shun
That's
me
what it
in the
says in the
comments
show
if I'm wrong.
notes.
What?
Do the show notes lie?
No, the show notes don't lie. I wrote that. I wrote that. I wrote 82. And 2 weeks ago was 80, and we did one last week, so it better be 82. But yeah, Steel City Bots. Whoa! Eric was going to be here. He really wanted us to start recording at 8. We are starting our recording at 8:47 because Eric is actually not here because his entire building lost power. The curse of calling me onion still strikes, I guess. I thought I was done with that. But anywho, who else is here with me? Jared, how are you doing?
Alive-ish.
All right.
Target's being a pain in my tailpipe, but
Oh, of
what
course.
else is new?
Oh, of course it is. When isn't it? And this week's Jared, aka Miguel, how are you doing?
How can I be this week's Jared if Jared's here?
Yeah.
You're both this week's Jared.
Then who are you?
I'm Michael, aka SoundJack.
No, you're this week's Eric.
No, next and then next. No. I am, and what Eric is last week's me, because who's been running this podcast for over a month? Yeah, that's right. It's me, boys and girls. It is mine now. Contractually.
All right, so Michael has staged a coup. Let us know on Twitter who should be the rightful ruler of Steel City Bonds.
I have a feeling SoundJack's pulling a star screen right now.
All right, so you asked me how I feel, I'm doing.
Yes.
I'm terrified of the tyrannical rule that has seized the power of and the authority of this podcast.
Dun dun dun. Oh no, whatever will I do with it? Probably what Eric would have done. So it's a coup in name alone, but nonetheless a coup. Anywho, history lesson time. We are recording this on March 25th, and on this day in 2015, pretty recent, though that's still 4 years ago. Gosh darn it, that's 4 years ago. Transformers Windblade Combiner Wars #1 is released by IDW Publishing. This started off the Combiner Wars in the IDW comics. Right? Or was this the post? I forget. I think
post what?
Or is this the events post Combiner Wars? This is the actual start of Combiner Wars, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Because I forgot those were actually branded as Windblade. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So. Yeah, Combiner Wars. That's 4 years ago, guys. We're getting old. What did everyone get this week? Jared, what did you get this week?
All right, first off, I got Cybertron Nemesis Breaker. I got him off Amazon, and
Amazon?
So I could, I mainly got him because I wanted to combine him with my Megatron that I recently got.
But you got him off of Amazon?
eBay.
Okay.
Okay.
Just want to make sure. If it's on Amazon, I'm like, crap, maybe I have to go look.
And, yep, combined it with Megatron, and he completely face planted right out of the gate.
I believe it.
And yeah, Megatron, he can't support the weight that this thing has. So as of right now, I'm just going to be keeping Nemesis in his lion mode. But yeah, he's all right. I had the Leo Breaker mold, or the Leo Breaker whenever I'll say when I was a youngin, but that one was lost. Yeah, I lost that one to the test of time and me being a maniac with my figures. And yeah, it's nice to have this mold again.
Yeah.
Next up, I think it was like the day after we recorded last week. Went to Target before work, got myself Siege Starscream, and he's all right. Soundwave's definitely the better of the two. He's very not chunky. He's very blocky. That's it. Yeah, he is shell formery a little bit. Well, not a little bit, a lot of it. But I don't know. It's not terrible. It's definitely not the worst that Siege has offered yet. But yeah, it's not terrible. I don't mind the battle damage too much, but it is there. But yeah, all in all, not terrible, but not great either.
Yeah.
And then I got a crap load of Studio Series stuff because my Target decided to stock everything Studio Series. So first off, after I got Starscream, the day after, I went back and I got Bone Crusher because he was there as well. And Bone Crusher, he's pretty good. You can remove his face for some weird reason and leave behind his eyes, and that's it. Because it's literally just on a bunch of like couple little tabs, and that's it. But if you want to get, if you got the Movie 1 Prime, then I guess you can get creative with your displays. But yeah, Bone Crusher in itself, not terrible, but yeah, it's Bone Crusher. After that, I received a package from Hasbro Pulse, and it was indeed Studio Series Movie 1 Optimus Prime. So I can do Sonic Corpse Mode. And the Prime himself is pretty good. Definitely better than the Revenge of the Fallen mold. I like the brighter colors, but I mainly got him for Sonic. Excuse me. I mainly got him for Sonic Corpse Mode. And yeah, it's real good. Or it's really nice. For my copy, at least, everything is holding up pretty well. Nothing seems loose. Nothing seems like it's gonna just fall off if I look at it funny or anything like that. Unless I put his gun mode, or unless I put his gun in his hand that was made from Jetfire's head, because that thing is near impossible to get into a good action pose while him looking like he's not about to fall over at any second. Yeah, as of right now, I just have that gun mode as like a turret with my Revenge of the Fallen Prime holding it, giving him something to do. But yeah, real nice backpack, giant, but I wasn't expecting anything less. So yeah. Other than that, I got Studio Series Rampage. I decided to go to Target early. I decided to go to Target before I started working, and went to the toy aisle. Lo and behold, I see Studio Series Rampage, and he's pretty good. I have yet to put him in his combined mode yet. Probably gonna wait to do that once I get all the figures together, or all the Devastator together. But yeah, he's a nice little pogo stick dude. And yeah, whenever I grabbed Rampage, the figure that was sitting behind him was Studio Series Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie. And this figure is pretty good. I was surprised at how the transformation was. Like, it's not overly complex, but some of the tricks that it does was unexpected. Yeah, and I did, like, one of the first things I did was I put 2 Ripper Label Autobot symbols on his shoulders to make him more screen accurate, and because you can't have a Prime without Autobot symbols on his shoulders, especially if it's a G1 Prime.
Yeah. I understand
looks
that.
good. Yeah, and looks good, feels good. The tabs on his inner legs kind of like to untap themselves pretty easily at times. but it's not detrimental to the figure. It doesn't really kill my enjoyment too much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's it for everything else I got. But I will say, I finally did it. I finally saw the Bumblebee movie.
Took you long enough.
Yeah, I actually didn't get I actually kept pretty clean spoiler wise. I did know about the death of Cliff Jumper, but I was spoiled because I saw a video thumbnail like way back whenever the movie first came out. But to be honest, I didn't completely forget about it, but it kind of like dropped from my mind a little bit, like how he died, because I never actually saw the video, saw how he did end up getting killed. I remember you guys talking about how Shatter is the one who killed, how she killed Cliff, but that kind of emptied or escaped from my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, the movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. That opening scene on Cybertron was whenever I saw that, I instantly thought back to the Paula's Cybertron game, how those the E3 trailers came out with all that battling, and yeah, I was missing out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And funny enough, whenever I saw the day that I saw the Bumblebee movie, it was the day that I found both Starscream and Bone Crusher. And later in the week, I saw the movie Into the Spider-Verse. After I saw that, I went to Target and I saw the figure, saw Rampage and Prime. So apparently, to find figures, all I gotta do is watch a new movie.
Yep, sounds about it. Sounds about right.
But that is indeed it for me.
Yep. All right, Miguel, what did you get this week? Oh, we're going to pass over Miguel for right now because, as he says, his room is shaking. So... I mean, his washing machine is going, so that's unfortunate because we were going to have a clean transition to news with my stuff, but I mean, apparently Miguel didn't actually open anything he got this week, so, Anyway, well, first thing I got was I found myself a Siege sound wave. I got me a Siege sound wave. Got it at Target. I went in. I got in a little late, but I decided to pop in by the toy aisle. I saw it was there. The two cases, 2 Starstreams and 2 Soundwaves. I had a 4-hour shift, so I'm like, okay, I'll wait, see if he's there by the end of the shift. Hope he's there. Saw one guy less than an hour before my shift was over, ringing up Soundwave at self-checkout. I'm like, oh no. I get back there. The last Soundwave is there, and I got him. And he is great. It did take me a bit of time to get used to him, but now I do really, really like him. I mean, robot mode I always loved. It's like the other modes, the lamp mode and the dropship mode it took a little bit of getting used to, but those are still pretty good fun. It's just great. I'm just so enthralled, honestly, by the finger that is able to open the button. I don't know if I'm going to display him like that when he gets on my shelf or with Laserbeak on his arm, in all honesty, I don't know which I'll prefer, but Soundwave is great. The big problem is he's got way too much freaking battle damage. He needs to tone it down. He needs just less. Like Prime, I can be fine, but Soundwave, I'm like, Soundwave, take a bath, please. Honestly, I'll probably do some. Unfortunately, there's a bunch on painted parts and whatnot. So I might have to do some touch-ups. So I don't know. I'll see what I can do. But I thought that was all I was going to get this week because I also had work today. I went in before my shift started. There was nothing new there. I ended up passing by doing an errand to the back room during my shift, and nothing new was there. But I got off, and I'm like, yeah, why not? One more check. And guess what was there? The Wave 2 Siege Battle Masters, Taraxodon, and Aimless. I'm going to just start with Aimless because he's not too far removed from the other target masters, because he's just a dude that like breaks his waist and his arms and his feet fold up behind his head and his arms tab into his into his thighs, into his hips, and then he's got pew pew effects, and I mean he's still good, still nice, but like Taraxodon is just grand. Taraxodon is the best, and I wish Eric was here so he could complain how much that I have Taraxodon and he doesn't. I'm just going to sit here and talk for a very long time about Taraxodon to make Eric Crownover very jealous, because he's got a great little head up and down. He's predominantly green and gray, but he's got like nice red detailing on his face. He's got a very nice shiny metallic blue on his wings. He's got, for whatever reason, a 5mm port coming out of his neck, like just straight out at a 90-degree angle. But in the weapon mode, that allows him to like be plugged onto someone's forearm if you want him to be like a gun or something, because you can do that, because there is a 5mm. There's a battle effects part at the bottom of the handle, so that is a viable point. That's viable. And his, I'm going to say it right now, his battle effect part is the best in the whole series, because you can plug it into Taraxodon and it's going to be like a POW effect part, and those kind of ports only plug into Taraxodon's wings. But on the outside of it, there's a battle effects port which you can plug onto other figures. And the cool thing is you can have Taraxodon attach to the battle effects part when it's attached to someone's battle effects port. So it looks like an axe is just like slammed after being thrown midair into someone's like shoulder or arm or whatever. And that's just really cool, I think. It's just grand. It's just so fun. I'm like honestly contemplating who I could display him with so it can look like that all the time. But he's great. He is super great. And unless Miguel's room has stopped shaking, which I'm going to assume it's not, since Miguel ain't responding.
I was unmuting myself, but now it has.
Oh, yay! Okay, so, yay. Miguel, what did you get this week?
This week, on an effort to keep current with what's around here and see if the stores have managed to find anything, I was able to come across some stuff, none of which I've opened, and I meant to open it while we were recording, but I have since made the mistake of sitting in my bed, and am now fighting to maintain consciousness.
Miguel's going to fall asleep again.
I was able to find the latest wave of Studio Series Voyagers, along with parts of the latest wave of Studio Series Deluxes. So I have to report Studio Series B-Movie Prime, Rampage, and Scrap Metal. Who has anyone else gotten Scrap Metal?
I have.
All right. So, have we talked about him?
Yeah. He's a fun little.
I don't remember what you said.
Oh yeah, that was last week, and Mateo Potato also got him and talked about him more in length.
Right. So between this week and last week, because this week Jared got the Voyagers, I feel like everyone's pretty much talked about the stuff that I got. I also haven't. opened them, so I can't really speak about them. Besides, like, they look cool in the box.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have some other things that are new that I haven't gotten to yet. So I just have a huge backlog and don't seem to be getting to it because every time I get home, I'm just tired, and then I just go to my room, and then I end up falling asleep, and then I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, dang it, I wanted to mess with the new bots.
Don't be so tired at work.
Maybe one day I'll address my backlog. I will report that my Starscream, my Siege Starscream, continues to stay displayed in front of LGEX Waspinator, and they both still look amazing together.
Mm-hmm.
I still hold that Starscream is the best Starscream that we've gotten in recent memory.
Mm-hmm.
I have him standing next to Swolescream, and Swolescream looks horrible.
I need to do a comparison.
Care what Eric says.
I need to do a comparison shot between Starscream and Swolescream.
Like a couple weeks ago.
What?
I'm pretty sure I got a comparison shot like a couple weeks ago.
You got one?
I took one, yes.
Oh. Well, I meant for my social medias. And also,
what was that?
I meant for my social medias. I thought you were trying to say like I already took a photo of that, but no, I get what you're saying now. I'm sorry, I'm tired. We're all tired. I assume Jared's tired. The fact that he works at Target, I assume he's tired because I work at Target and I'm tired.
Last week after work and after video chatting with one of my friends, I may or may not have fallen asleep at 10 o'clock and proceeded to sleep 10 hours.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. But Miguel, the real thing would be if you did a comparison shot also with the classic Starscream.
That can be arranged.
Or a universe, whatever best version, or Henkei, whatever the best version of the mold that you have is.
The only version I have is the Henkei one, so that would have to do.
Yeah, because I was considering doing, because the closest I'd have would be Skywarp from the classic Screamer mold.
I mean, it works. It's just showing how the Seekers have evolved in the past. Good Lord, 13 years?
It's been 13 years since 2006.
All right.
The 90s are still the previous decade to me, and it's almost the end of this decade. No! The 90s are going to be 30 years ago.
Ooh, just next year, we'll have the top... We'll have the top 10... We'll have tons of people doing the top 10 Transformers of the 2010s.
Yep. Oh, yeah. No, it's too soon. It's too soon, I say. Jeez. Anywho, we're done with Miguel because he didn't open anything. So let's go on to the news. Going to be completely honest here, folks. There's not a whole lot to discuss. It's just things to report. First things, cool though. The first thing is, once the article loads, Synergy, a Hasbro creator showcase of woman who made an impact. We knew about this. It's going to be 51 pages long, and it's going to be released this week. So get ready for that. We did get a 3-page preview that included seeing RC trying and failing to get a house with a dude that strangely looks like stealth bomber body Megatron, but is not. And some people and I saw a couple people on Twitter commenting that this might be a new RC toy because there's some similar detailings to the chest. which I don't completely see. But the argument that I didn't see that I'm going to point out for why this is a potentially upcoming RC toy that is probably retooled out of the Chromia mold is the fact that her shoulders have pins in them. Her shoulders just straight up have pins.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Just like how the Siege toys have like the pins and the 5mm ports in them for the War for Cybertron comic. Or the new Transformers IDW comic. I want to call it the War for Cybertron comic. It's not right. So, hey, that Chromia retooled, RC retooled out of the Siege Chromia. I could buy it. I could buy it. I'm glad I have time to return RC though, because then that doesn't mean like literally all of the deluxes are made out of all the deluxe females I have are made out of one mold and then Chromia and Windblade. I mean, not Nautica and Windblade. Because I have the Throwing 30 Chromia. Thank you again, Miguel. For that, at the very least. I already know our Chromia is like 90% a new toy, but still. So that's nice. This showcase seems like it's going to be very interesting. I don't think, unless you two have anything else to say.
No, not really.
We're going to move on, and we are going to talk about some Japanese stuff because Japan is doing like cartoon shorts of Bumblebee's first Earth life is what it's called. I didn't get a chance to watch this, but my best understanding, it's like a simplified version of like the first section of the movie of Bumblebee like scanning and then Charlie finding Bumblebee and bringing him back home. It might be a bit different because I see Bumblebee getting attacked by Charlie's dog, who I don't even know the dog's name, man. I want to know that dog's name. Did that dog get named ever? It did.
It did. My cat.
You saw the movie the most recently.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember it. Gosh darn it.
Anyway, so that looks cute. I've meant to check that out. I've just forgotten. You should go check that out too. Next thing, actually, also pretty interesting. A couple weeks ago, we mentioned that there was a Hasbro Pulse interview. That's a two-parter interview talking about the design of. It was specifically talking about Omega Supreme, right, Miguel? The last part. Yes. Okay. Yes. And in the second part, we get more information. The most notable bit of information we get is how he scales with Devastator. And he is larger than Titan class Devastator. He's a big boy. Like Devastator's head comes up to the base of Omega Supreme's neck. And then Omega Supreme is also just beefy and chunky and it's got the wings, so he's a fair bit larger, and that looks like that scales really well. That's nice. I am excited.
It also like just from the pictures, it seems like Omega is going to have a lot of heft to him.
Yeah.
In line with the rest of the Siege line. The article itself is also pretty cool because John Warden goes into more detail about like just the process of designing Metroplex, and it seems to. I say Metroplex. I'm Omega Supreme, and it seems to align with the idea that I've seen some people throw out, that they pretty much have all of the Titans pretty much designed up to a point, like in concept form.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that John Warden mentions is that I can't remember which designer from Takara came over to I think he physically came to Rhode Island to Hasbro with pretty much the Sunbow cartoon, like a version of Omega Supreme, like a design of Omega Supreme that was pretty much the Sunbow cartoon model.
Mm-hmm.
And then they worked from there to get it into like a Siege type of look, adding extra details and everything, working with the same designer who's responsible for a lot of like the scale model ladders and stuff you'll find on like Metroplex and like the Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus mold.
Yeah.
And just the article itself goes into a bit of the process of taking it from the base just 2D like sketches and whatnot all the way to a final prototype and like samples and stuff. So it was a pretty interesting read. And yeah, I'm personally very excited to see how this turns out. I'm still a bit like the tie-ins especially are one of those instances where I'm kind of annoyed that the Hasbro and Takara versions are so similar now, because I can just imagine how good of a paint scheme Takara would have given this if they had the chance to like do it in Legends versus having to do it in their just regular Siege line.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they scale well together. I think they look good together, just the prototype and everything. So I'm excited to for the end of this year when all the photo shoots start coming out of the Constructicons fighting Omega Supreme.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. Omega looks great. I can't wait. But also what I can't wait for is to find Series 2 bots, because people on the West Coast have found the Series 2 5-packs of bots. The T-Formers article says there's one pack that was missing, but M. Cypher on Twitter actually managed to find all 8 of them, though I don't think he actually purchased all 8 of them, because as we know from Series 1, there's going to be a lot of redundancies. And there's only 60 unique bots this time around, as opposed to... Oh, wait, it was 61 last time. What am I talking about? It's just one different. I can't wait. But we have been getting more names. And I think my favorite of the names we've learned from these packs is that the rotten cheese is called Holy Moldy. And I'm just like, yes. 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 But I think I'm the only one here that even cares about bots right now. So, thing more relevant to most of the people here, but I already got this too. Siege Battlemasters Wave 2 found in store at Target. They were actually found in Tennessee first. So they hit the East Coast first for some reason. But like I said, I also managed to pick up a pack for myself. A set of them for myself. What else? What else was also found? Siege Galaxy Upgrade Optimus Prime sighted at a Walmart in Michigan. According to Amazon, this isn't even supposed to be out till July. So it was supposed to be more so released along with like Wave 3 product closer to. But we also know this isn't the only sighting, because Headmaster Don, who we know from Radio Free Cybertron, also found one at his Walmart. I don't know where he lives. I know he's East Coast. I just don't know where. And if I remember correctly from Radio Free Cybertron, he's kind of like he's kind of middle of nowhere, Virginia. That's what his Twitter says. So it's in Virginia. Is that
So that's Michigan, Virginia, and then I know that there was at least like one sighting that was like in Minnesota.
okay? Michigan and Minnesota makes sense because they're out there. They're like right next to each other. Virginia is interesting because that's very close to us.
I mean, Wisconsin's kind of in the middle of Michigan and Minnesota.
You're right. I blanked on my geography for a second there. How? I'm so good at maps. How did I make a blunder like that?
No wonder Michael isn't a cartographer.
Boo. Boo. Okay. So
we have let's looking at a map. That's pretty random to kind of be popping up in those different places. I wonder if there will be. I said Minnesota was Missouri, which is still like.
Yeah, that's not. It's
still kind of just very random where they're popping up. Hopefully they start showing up more consistently.
I just need them to show up at Target because my Walmart doesn't carry the liter size class. That's the problem.
The Walmarts around here have started to carry them again.
So what you're thinking is it might be worth checking because Walmart may be like, yeah, why not?
I mean, once I start seeing sightings of them in the state, I'll probably start to actually look. Right now, the Battle Masters and another item that we will be talking about soonish.
Another item?
No, we won't. You didn't put it in the show notes.
What was it? Because I'm
the Battle Damage Studio Series 31 Megatron.
Oh, was that not discussed last week?
I believe the sighting happened after we recorded.
Oh, right. You know what, though? T-Formers didn't report on it, though.
Oh, they did? I mean, I don't know. Well, regardless, that's starting to pop up more places now. That's the Battle Damaged Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. That's a Target exclusive. I think we come in stock on Target's website, but it is starting to pop up at the very least around here. And since that one is in a case by itself, you can search its DPCI on BrickSeek, and you'll actually get a rundown of how many your store has. The problem, or at least the fact that it has it in stock, the issue is that it seems like most of the stores in my area, they either are getting them and then getting sold out of them, or they're doing that thing where it says they have them in stock, but it's because they're on a truck.
Yeah.
And then like for the rest of them, like the Siege, the Leader Optimus is coming in. He's in a case with Shockwave. So as those get scooped up, if you go to your Walmarts or your Targets or something, and you just see Shockwave, was there an Optimus there, or was there a
Magnus?
Old Magnus. Yeah, you won't really know.
Well, actually, I still need a Magnus.
And even then, like, I think, honestly, for those of you listening, don't get too swept up in the hype. Like, Hasbro has done really well in getting pre-orders up. So, honestly, like, at the end of the day, if you start zipping around at your different stores, whatever savings you might get because Walmart or something has the leaders for a couple bucks less than if you were to buy it off of like Amazon or Hasbro Pulse. In the end, all of the gas and time you're saving, I imagine, is worth more than those like extra $4. And if you got in on Hasbro Pulse's what was it? The premium sort of opt-in period.
Yeah.
Like when they first launched the website, you're getting free shipping.
Yeah.
So I think for me, because I've gone a bit crazy lately.
You have. I was going to make a comment that this info is both for the audience and for Miguel himself.
Yes, this is me reminding myself that I don't really need to go too terribly crazy with what's coming out for the foreseeable future. One of the main reasons why I was zipping around was mainly for the deluxe wave from Studio Series,
Mm-hmm.
the Shatter Cogman Scrap Metal wave, because that wave still hasn't really popped up for pre-orders most places. Like, I don't think Pulse has them yet.
Yeah.
And Pulse would be the place I would grab them from at this point, because I have free shipping on Pulse and I don't have Amazon Prime membership anymore. I typed in scrap metal. I think it auto corrected it to skyscrapers.
Skyscrapers.
And gave
Skyscraper
me-
combined to form Devastator. I don't know.
And if you type in Cogman, if you search Cogman on Hasbro Pulse's website, your top hit will be Vice Admiral Holdo from Star Wars The Black Series.
I'm surprised that's not even Cog from Siege. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Of course, KSI Boss ends up being one of the results for Cogman, so who knows? Who knows what's happening?
Interesting. But moving on. Done with all of the, hey, look at all this stuff coming out. Next up, just a little interesting thing. We got some concept art from the Bumblebee movie. Just some like scenes and whatnot. We see like Jeep B all weaponed up. An early design for Jeep B, it seems. A couple different variations. One of them using the movie one aesthetic a bit more. But then cleaning it up a bit. A couple fights with Dropkick and Shatter using her toy accurate pre-finalized design with a to power a thing. I don't know what the thing is. It's a thing in her colors. That's all I know. It's glowing. But it's very neat. It's neat to see. Oh, that's why I figured I'd share it. Speaking of art, if you are not familiar with the name Death's Head, very briefly, Death's Head was a Marvel original character that first appeared in the Transformers Marvel comic, then hopped his way over to the main IDW, to the main Marvel universe, right?
Death's Head, from what I remember, was originally conceived for the Transformers books. The problem was, or at least or he was set to originally debut in the Marvel G1 comics in the UK. The problem was that any character who appeared in the Transformers comics first was deemed a
Hasbro character.
Yeah, Hasbro characters deemed to be owned by Hasbro. So Marvel, towards that bit of its run, started to introduce the characters that were going to be featured in Transformers in smaller one-shots first, like little strips, so that they would be considered Marvel-owned characters rather than Hasbro-owned characters. Death's Head appeared in some tiny strip before mainly being showcased in the Transformers comics as a bounty hunter, and then eventually leaving, and then having a run-in with the Doctor from Doctor Who.
Yep.
And that's what ended up turning him human-sized. Originally, he was the size of a Cybertronian.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's your little rundown on Death's Head.
But yeah, the reason why we're bringing this up is that there is a new Death's Head comic coming out. Death's Head series. I don't know if it's stated how long this is going to run. But a special note is that K I don't know if I think I'm going to butcher her name, but Kei Zama, who is a big artist for the Optimus Prime series at the end of IDW's run, is going to be the primary artist for this series. The series also notably is going to be written by Teenie Howard and also has covers by Nick Roche. So, big TF names. And the first issue will go on sale April 24th. So if you're a Death's Head fan, or if you want to get to know Death's Head, this is probably a good way to do it, I would say.
I just hope that this ongoing series means that eventually they'll do a Marvel Legends figure of Death's Head, like a 6-inch one, because they did like a 3.75-inch one years ago.
Yeah,
and that's the one that I have. And then they did Death's Head 2, and I'm like, okay, now make regular Death's Head.
Yeah, because Death's Head 2 looks weird. I'm going to be honest.
Or even make his vintage colors, so his green colors.
Very least.
Do that as the Marvel Legends figure, so that way he can scale well with my deluxes.
Yes. Yeah. Please, if that happens, let me know that it's coming, Miguel, because I don't follow Marvel Legends. I only collect Transformers. That'll be.
I'm sure I can help, and Eric will help. Eric is a slave to Marvel Legends.
Well, didn't he just sell off a whole ton of them?
Sold off a whole ton of them, but then he's still interested in, like, he sold off a ton, but he's still interested in them. He's just, I guess, trying to refocus what he collects and not buy cases.
Yeah,
because that's what he was doing.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. Well, this was also very well timed because there is a Death's Head Day for some reason. I don't know why this started, but I mean, like, that's cool because, like, artists will just draw Death's Head on Death's Head Day. And that was this past weekend too, right?
I don't know.
Because all I know is very recently on Twitter, I saw a lot of people is doing hashtag Death's Head Day and seeing a lot of art of the Death's Head. But yeah, I don't think it was announced on the same day, but I mean, like, that's funny that they announced it very close to that. But yeah, so that's grand. That's going to happen. But most interesting thing, I think, is we have some new product codes for Siege, Studio Series, and Cyberverse, and and this information is coming from a regular person that has been good in the past with providing us new code listings for stuff.
Yep. One Katz from TFW 2005, who has for years now been a pretty reliable source in giving preliminary information. Katz was actually, like, going back, Katz was the one who broke that MicroMasters would be, I believe Katz was the one who broke it, that MicroMasters would be a size class for Siege. So
yeah. I think Katz also broke about the bots in the same article. It might have been. Anyway, let's talk about
this. This listing's kind of all, at least the one that's reported on TFW, is kind of all out of whack.
What do you mean about that? Oh, wait.
Like the different lines are kind of I mean, because they break them out into, like, some of the more the highlights, and then they just do a full run, like, list of the different product codes.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, they're deciding to include, like, some product codes that we're aware of, like Optimus Prime. I think we should know the product code for that because that's out already.
Although it says 1986, so I wonder if I don't know, is that what?
Oh, that's a good point.
what does that mean? Like, because I mean, someone could probably check to see if this lines with the code for the reissue at Walmart that exists. But 1986, I'm like,
Yeah.
is it considered a 1986 version of Optimus? Like,
Because Optimus wasn't sold in 1986. He was
well, yeah,
discontinued.
1986 because the year he died. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
So is there another Optimus Prime comic from 19? Are we going to get? Wait a minute. Are we going to get an Optimus Prime movie Death Screet color accurate Optimus Prime toy?
Get a sleep mode reissue. Oh my!
And that will also be $50.
Oof.
No,
What's
it'll be
that?
$70 because he's gonna come on the like the repair bay thing that he died on.
Ah,
The operating table.
yeah, that's fair. But let's talk about the new stuff. Well, actually, before we talk about this new stuff, I also want to bring up the fact that the product codes also list War for Cybertron Voyager Sound Blaster, War for Cybertron Optimus OP SE, War for Cybertron Megatron SE, and War for Cybertron Deluxe Blue Streak, who are the 4 figures we saw with this 35th anniversary line at Toy Fair, but like only briefly, because by the time everyone actually got into the room, that display was gone. So like I think at the very least it's good to know that like there's still product information out there about it. Since the official launch was scrubbed or something, I don't know, or announcement or whatever. It's good to see they're still coming.
I mean, like what is it? The people speculating that probably was something that they didn't mean to showcase to the fan media that was there, but rather just retailers. So I mean, it's nice to see that that'll be more than just like packaging sample, especially because it most likely looked like that Sound Blaster was an actual prototype that was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see how what that ends up being. Also, just running down like just to keep sequential order of the list. The list also mentions the product codes for the what are labeled the G1 Legion class assortment. That's your mini bots.
Yeah.
Reissued at Walmart. So your Bumblebee, your Swerve, your Warpath, and Gears.
Yep. Who are going to be
all
the
of those
most recent ones coming out alongside the Soundwave and the cassette 2-pack that are also listed.
But then following those and the special edition War for Cybertron Siege stuff, we have some new listings.
Yes. We have Cyberverse Warrior Slipstream, Cyberverse Warrior 2-pack, and Cyberverse Spark Armor Cheetor. I honestly am not too surprised that Cheetor's got a Spark Armor set coming because he seems to be a big, important character in the show. I forget.
Warrior Slipstream is interesting because did we, for the Season 2 product, did they show any other Warriors?
They did.
Okay.
The Drift. There's a Warrior Drift.
Is Drift a Warrior? Oh, no, you're right. Drift's, not Drift. The Warriors have the weird gimmick.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
There were a couple others, I forget. I'm also remembering like there's the Ultra Class Alpha Trion that's coming. Warrior Class, what is it? Oh yeah, Na's part of the Warrior Class too.
Okay.
Apparently there's also going to be a Jetfire and a new Bumblebee for the Warrior classes.
Oh right, we saw Jetfire, right?
Yeah.
All right. And then this 2-pack, no clue what it could be.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's a 2. I'm wondering if it's a new size class. Like we're going to get, if they're going to be like, what it will entail. Like,
I mean, the fact that this list seems to have a lot of exclusives that we know are going to end up at Walmart, who's to say that this isn't an exclusive like the Warrior Optimus with the trailer?
no, yeah.
So they might get like, the fact that it's for season 2, who knows? It might be like a Megatron and Optimus. That's my brain's going to. It might be an Optimus versus a Megatron 2-pack.
Okay, I can see that.
Throw in some like Spark Armor-esque accessory.
Or give them battle damage, make them fall in line with Siege.
Or give them like Allspark powered blue so that they're powered by the Allspark.
That's true.
Their fateful duel.
That's true.
And yeah, Cheetor is no surprise.
Yeah. I'm just wanting to double check because I can't remember. Because the interesting thing is it says Spark Armor as opposed to either Battle Class or Elite Class, which are the actual names of the size classes. So we don't know if the Cheetor is going to be the $15 price point or the larger one. Which is interesting. Yeah. Next thing is another thing for well, not another thing, but technically, but it's for War for Cybertron Siege, and it's called the Micromaster Mega Value 10-pack. So, it's going to have 10 Micromasters. It's going to be mega, and there's going to be a value to it. When I hear value, my concern is it's not going to be new toys, but rather re-releases of older toys or characters with just slightly different, maybe better paint schemes. The article specifically notes that there was a Minicon Mega 10-pack for RID 15. And I'm trying to remind myself, because if I recall correctly, most of the minicons in that were re-releases with minor paint variations from retail releases with a handful of new characters.
So that would probably be the best option if it was like a handful of enhanced decos or alternate decos, along with a couple of guys who are recolored to be either different Micromaster characters or just interesting paint schemes. Hopefully, we'll get the Soundwave Spy Patrol.
Yes.
At the very least, we'll get like if we get Laserbeak redone as Buzzsaw, and you could do Ravage as Howlback or Glit or something.
Yeah. Stripes. Start giving us the
Or
Autobots.
Stripes. Would be weird because then Stripes would be outgunned and outnumbered.
Yeah. We're outgunned, outmanned. Sorry, I'm just gonna sing Hamilton over here now.
All right. Well, then I'll keep going down the list. The next two that we have, well, the last one to round out the War for Cybertron ones is we have the product code now for Deluxe Ratchet, which we've known for a while is going to be Walgreens exclusive, just like Wreck-Gar was this past year.
And then Brainstorm the year before.
The final two,
which
are pretty interesting. We have a Studio Series Voyager Megatron along with a Studio Series Leader Megatron. Now, the Voyager Megatron, I haven't seen anyone, like, it wasn't called out in this article, so I'm curious if this is, because we have two other Voyager Megatrons?
Yeah, it could be the product code for the Target exclusive one that's just come out that we're...
Right, either the Target exclusive either the Target exclusive. I see some people speculate that this is going to be that this is a the Last Night re-release, which like we really have to compare to see. The Leader Megatron is interesting because it has a different product code from the Dark of the Moon Leader, suggesting that this is it has to be, I guess, a different toy, different mold. So, assuming that the Last Night is confined to a Voyager release because the Studio Series seems to keep with the last night figures as that's consistent scale. This means we might be getting an 07 leader class Megatron, which would complete. Well, if he comes with Frenzy, will complete the 07 Decepticon lineup.
I mean, honestly, it could, because Dark of the Moon came with Igor. And if they also got to do a thing with keeping it in scale and whatever, like Megatron's going to have parts because he's going to be a big old jet, but like he's still got to be the same size as, he's still at the very least going to be the same height as Dark of the Moon Megs then. So he's not going to be too large, so there'll be room for it. Here's the question though. Will he come with the flail or the fusion cannon?
Why can't he come with both?
Yeah.
Because they're both very big weapons. And considering what we've seen from leaders in terms of weapons, I'd be very surprised if both came. Like, that'd be cool. I just don't think it. I honestly, though, and I'm going to take a genuine guess, flail, it will be the flail. I don't think he'll come with the fusion cannon. I think they'll focus on the flail. In my personal opinion. But who knows? Probably have to wait till, San Diego Comic-Con, you think?
Probably.
Because the question is, when is this stuff coming out? Because we have the codes. But we've got Optimus, we got Dark of the Moon Optimus coming out this year as well. And that's also not supposed to be July, just like Galaxy Upgrade Prime. But who knows what's going on? Who knows what they're planning? Yeah, this is interesting. This is all interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I do really hope that the Micromasters are all new. I don't care if they're repaints, if they're all just repaints. Just let them all be new characters. We got so many mini Micromasters. I just had a thought. What if this is how we got our Star Saber?
What?
What if this is the two jet Decepticons? They form the blade part of the Star Saber from Armada. What if this is how we get Jetstorm and Runway?
Oh.
That's what I'm getting at. Come on, this is your time to shine, Hasbro. Give us that. Give us Glit and Howl back. Buzzsaw, I guess, too. I meant Garboil, not Glit. I mean, you could give us Glit too to go with Buzzsaw. That's honestly what I think. I honestly think, well, granted, they also did Howlback and Buzzsaw in one pack for the Bumblebee toy line, so that could be the setup. Who knows? No, granted, everyone will want Buzzsaw.
Yeah.
But if they release... I just had the thought, though, that if they do an Autobot version, both of them are going to be very bright orange because the Autobot versions are Stripes and Sundor. So that'd be funny. But anyway, that's it for news. That's all we got for news. Jared, what do we have for pre-orders this week?
All right, so for pre-orders for this week, just one. Well, there's just one link, but there actually is two. It's Planet X PX-21 Mars, which is their take on a War for Cybertron / Fall of Cybertron Ironhide. And they are indeed making a repaint, which I am going to try to find, but I probably won't be. No, I can't find it yet. But it is also a pre-order on the Chosen Prime. And yeah, again, it's just the War for Cybertron / Fall of Cybertron designed for Ironhide, and the other one is Ratchet.
That's not a repaint. That's a full-on retool. Looking at the pic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. me messed up my words.
Yeah, it's all good. Oh, that's coming out quick. Didn't we just see this in full color at TFCon LA?
I think? Question mark?
I knew we saw grayscale prototypes at
Yeah.
Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I know because I was there.
Mm.
But I'm surprised it's coming out that quick. Well, granted, there's a lot of third-party stuff coming out. Some of it has to come out at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question of the
Yep.
week. You got anything else to say?
Nah.
Okay. Question of the week. I don't have anything for question of the week because I don't know what questions y'all have been asking out on the Steel City bots. But you can, if you have a question for us, send it to us at our Steel City bots Twitter account, and eventually we'll get to it. I am certain. But for this week's mascot, I am saying that it is Pteroxodon Bisque, because Pteroxodon is great, and that's going to make Eric angry because he does not have a Pteroxodon yet, and I sent a picture in the group chat, and he shouted, like, I need Pteroxodon now! So I'm like, haha, I have it, you don't. But watch, then he's going to be able to find the reissue Soundwave, and I will never be able to find it in person. But anywho, so yeah, that's it for the podcast. If you want to check out the podcast, you can subscribe on YouTube and like our video and comment there if you are following there. But I think the more common place to check it out is through various podcast channels, which include Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, and various other podcast locales that you may be aware of if you are hearing us through them, of course. You can also follow. Oh, and for those, you're going to You're going to do Nerdy Geek Talk, not Steel City Bots. Eric's working on getting other podcasts back up and running, but it is the Nerdy Geek Talk Network. And that
Yes, it is.
And you'll find us at. Hey, it took you long enough.
Hey. Yep.
I made it before the end, it sounds like. Woohoo!
Barely.
Yeah, barely.
My coup is still in effect.
Oh, you started a coup?
Yeah, I started a coup.
Is it a coup of chickens?
No, unfortunately,
dang.
there are no chickens involved in the coup. But just so you know, Eric, this week's mascot is Pteroxodon Bisque.
Okay, I was going to say, there better be a bisque following that. That is more than acceptable. I love Pteroxodon.
Yeah.
Well, I will love Pteroxodon, but, you know.
Pteroxodon's great. I'll tell you more about him once we get done with this. But yeah, so check out Nerdy Geek Talk podcasts on all of those places. You can follow Nerdy Geek Talk on Twitter to be updated whenever a new podcast comes out. And you can also follow Steel City Bots on Twitter and Instagram for just randomness from us. As to where to find all these people on the podcast, Jared, where can people find you?
Make sure I'm not muted. You can find me on Twitter at Jared Pro, or not that anymore. Dread Prime. That's what my name is. Yeah, you can find me there on Twitter if you want. That's where I'm at basically all the time. But I am also on Instagram at JarPro00. That's where I do my Nightbots. And yeah, if you want to see a sometimes cool, sometimes not so cool picture with a mostly stupid quote or one-liner that I say, then yeah, go ahead. You'll probably laugh mainly at me the most part.
I don't laugh at you, Jared. Those are really good pictures. But Miguel, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Lois Miner. What have I been doing lately? What's my latest tweet about?
Is it about Darian sniping my Triparticus Council?
Well, that's a reply. I need.
Yeah.
That's if people go to the tweets and replies section. No. No, my last thing was last two things. The sort of galaxy brain moment, which by no means am I saying this is an original idea, but the thought that what if they were to do weaponizer Junkions in Siege, which I saw plenty of people be like giving different examples and stuff. Also, just going off. It's like, no, don't do Junkions. Do Rack and Ruin, which I'm like, no. I mean, sure, but like that's not the point of my tweet. The idea though, what I had with the Junkions is have it so that they turn into a bunch of melee weapons.
Oh.
Specifically,
so
so like
That'd
axes
be awesome.
and like pickaxes and like swords and whatnot. And then the other thing was my decree that from here on out, it's illegal to refer to collectively Megatron, Soundwave, Shockwave, and Starscream as anything but the Fab Four, as christened by Michael.
Yep.
I like how you wave to the camera, but nobody can see you.
I know. Didn't need to point it out.
Oh, I felt the need to.
I mean, that's fine. But you didn't need to. Just saying.
This is true.
We went through Miguel. Eric, I guess you're here. I guess you can tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at Eric Crowbar on Twitter, at Aramis Prime on Instagram, and on YouTube at Eric Crownover. I actually will be uploading. I have a recent video uploaded. I'll be uploading another one tonight, hopefully, about ranting. Basically, if you're into the Transformers movies, go there. I'll be talking about plenty of that.
All right.
Because Lorenzo doesn't shut up.
Yeah, Lorenzo, please stop. You're just
For
giving
your
us,
sake and for ours, just stop.
yeah, you're just giving us all headaches. Anyway, as for me, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at SoundJack426. My YouTube channel features Transformers toy reviews, which will be increasing and actually posting them very soon, as well as my SoundJack's Rambles. This week, Alyssa and I are actually talking about a musical, and that musical is Hamilton. Yeah, my Instagram features photos of my toys. My Twitter is where I hang out, so come on by and say hi. But I will encourage you to keep an eye out on stuff on my channel in the coming week, and that you will be able to find me at a new location very soon. That's all I'm going to say. And that's it for us. So thanks for tuning in. This is us leaving. Bye.
Bye, Baranara.
See ya.